Hey everybody, this is Brad from Johnson Small Engines, better known as the one-hand mechanic. If I can do it, you can too. Today we have here a Cub Cadet 2X. It's a 26-inch self-propelled two-stage snow thrower, and I'm going to show you how to start and operate it in my opinion. First thing you want to do is check the oil, which is right here. And all you're going to do is turn it a half a turn. Actually, it's a quarter turn to lock this, so it's only a quarter turn. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it off. Always wipe it off. Make sure you're on level ground. H and L. You want it right about the high dot right there. And it has two little nubs right there and then one on the other side. And you have to make sure you put them in the dipstick hole correctly because you can actually get this dipstick jammed up. So make sure it goes in correctly. Quarter turn, take it back out. Should be right around the dot on the upper side, which it is, which is very good. This is very clean. We just changed the oil. This takes straight unleaded fuel. If you can, I'm going to talk about a product at the end here. If you can use non-ethanol gasoline in your area, it's great. We don't have it in our area, or if we do, it's hard to find. But I recommend Aspen 4. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. As far as starting and operating it, we'll get to that real quick. So we have stop, which is all the way over to the right. And then we have turtle and then rabbit. Obviously, fast is where you want to use it when you're blowing snow. I usually back it up just a little bit off of fast when I'm starting them up. Then we have the on-off button here. If you need to shut down the machine real fast, just pull that out, but you have to make sure that that is all the way in. Primer bulb here, and it does say 3 times. In the wintertime, depending on how cold it is, sometimes it's 2, 3, 4 times depending, but we're in 55-degree weather right now, so I'm only gonna prime it once. Now we have a choke up here. So we have your run here, which is lining up right here for the run, and then when you start it, you wanna have it on choke. Okay, so just have it on choke. You want to have the primer primed at least 2 or 3 times in the cold weather. Have it about half throttle. If you do have that throttle all the way down to stop, it's not going to run. Also, if the switch is not in, it will also not run. And there's 2 ways you can start the machine up. We can start it with the pull cord right here, or we can start it with the electric starter right here. And the electric starter is pretty straightforward. I recommend a extension cord about the thickness of your cord that is right here on your starter. Don't go any thinner than this. Try to keep it under 20 feet because it does draw a lot of amperage. And then it's a 3-prong plug that you're going to put in there. We're going to go ahead and show you that second, but we'll start this up. Go ahead and give it a pull. When you get it started, you're going to turn off your choke. As you can see, we have lights right here. One here and one here. Now, if it doesn't start that easy, now it may take a few more pulls when it's cold outside, extreme cold, and the electric starter is definitely a plus. Let me go ahead and we'll plug in the electric starter and do this one more time. Also, the electric starter should only be pushed, I think that it says technically no more than 5 or 10 seconds. If your engine is running the way it should be. Now, going back to the engine starting, if the engine doesn't start for you, do not keep cranking this electric starter. It's nice to spin the engine faster, and especially in cold conditions when the oil's thicker, the electric starter is definitely the way to go. It just turns it over faster, and it'll start quicker that way. If it doesn't start, then you have a carburetor problem, and I'll try to, if I have a link on rebuilding the carburetors or pulling them apart, I know I have a how to diagnose and get your machine running if it's been sitting a while, so I'll put them in the link in the description below. I'm going to go ahead and put it up to half speed again. Switch is in. I'm going to put the choke on again. We're going to hit the electric starter right here. It should start right up. Just make sure you unplug your electric from the starter before you go and take off the choke again. Now, as far as the controls in the back, we have a couple different features back here that's really nice. One of them is these levers right here are nice. The snowblower has a dual lock wheel system, which means that both wheels spin, and sometimes it can be real hard to turn it. So if you lift up one of these triggers, it'll actually release the one wheel and makes it very easy to turn left and right. That's why we have these triggers, and then when you go ahead and turn your corner or turn around and you go straight again, you let go of the trigger and it will pull you forward into the snow with both wheels spinning. Over here we have our handle for our drive handle for the wheels. Now it does show right here an auger sign, and it has a little lock right there. Now that lock is to lock the other handle. This is the drive handle for your wheels. Okay, the other handle on this side is your auger, and it shows right here that your auger is spinning. So this is your auger drive handle, and then when you're driving with your wheels like this and you lift up on your left hand, you notice that the auger drive handle does not come up. That's why this is here. It's an auger lock for the handle, and it's nice because then you can use your left hand to control the machine, and that's why it's there. So, and I always recommend always leave your auger handle down until all the snow is blown out of the front of the machine. If you let go of your auger handle and there's snow packed in the machine, if you have wet conditions and very cold outside, you can actually freeze up the snow in there. And then when you hit your auger handle again, you can actually break a belt if you're not careful. So just keep that in mind. I always leave my auger handle down until everything's out of the chute. You have your forward and reverse gears here. Pretty straightforward. I definitely recommend only using these gears when the drive handle is up. I don't think you can actually shift it when it's on the go, when you have the handle down. I think you have to shift it when it's up. So you have 2 reverse speeds here, and then obviously 1 to 6 speeds, which is incredibly fast to blow snow. That's just my opinion. Then this lever here is your chute in the front, up and down. That's your directional. It's up and down for the direction. And then this handle here is your left and right for the chute. And this is something new. They actually got rid of the cables, which I don't like. They still have the cables here for your pivot, but they went to a real heavy duty cable, and they used to have these thin cables like this, and that was how you would turn it left and right, and those mechanisms up there never worked. But this is definitely different. It's the first time I've seen it. We'll see how long it holds up, but you're basically just turning this left and right. It's a pretty nice feature. It looks like it's going to work out all right. So that's pretty much it for all the controls. Now I'm going to go to the front and show you a couple of products that we should use, or that I recommend using. First thing is silicone spray. It's a great thing to have. Make sure you shake the can well and spray inside the barrel here, all over your augers, and inside right here. Okay, and it helps keep the snow from sticking, and it works well. You just have to reapply it every time. And also, this is to help protect you when you're unclogging the machine. This is why they give you this. So you stick this in here to unclog your machine. Make sure your machine is off when you are using that. And I always like to point the handle out this way instead of that way. But you just don't want to use this without the machine being off. The other thing is Aspen fuel. This is a great long time storage gasoline. It's 92 octane, no ethanol. It's an alkylate fuel. It's a very clean burning gasoline. This is Aspen 4, which is for the 4 strokes. This is for the 4-cycle engines that take regular gas. You don't mix it with the pump gas, but this will, if you're in an area that you're not using your machine very much, this is going to help you with storage. So I'll put a link in the description below so you guys can check it out and try to find a location where you can purchase it. The other thing is, if you think that your snow thrower is not performing very well, first thing you want to check are your auger shear pins. And I have one in my hand right here. This is a shear pin with a clip, and these are designed to shear. So they have one here, there's one here, one on this side, and one here. So you have four times as it can actually shear, and you always just check by trying to spin the auger, obviously when the machine is off. If you can't spin the auger, that usually means that they are all intact. When it's snowing outside, you're not going to be able to see the shear pins, but if you think that you're not blowing snow as well as it was before, just check to make sure they're locked in, and that's pretty much it. And so this pretty much sums it up for how to start and operate a Cub Cadet 2X 26-inch self-propelled. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please share my channel with your friends. Please subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.